What's up, guys? Jeff here with Grid City Fitness and Performance, and today I want to go over a couple talking points on how to burn fat. And now this is probably the most common topic that I really talk about outside of just nutrition and diet. And how to burn fat is actually pretty damn simple, but you might be doing it all the wrong ways. And the idea behind burning fat is to do the right things at the right times to maximize your results and not just do a bunch of shit just to do it. Over the years, I've had a lot of people do a lot of really smart things and really dumb things to help them lose weight. And today's video is going to be covering the do's and the don'ts of how to properly lose fat fast. Alright, so let's first start with the do not do things. First thing on the do not do is crash diets. We don't want to be doing crash diets because when we do a crash diet, we typically will put ourselves in such a severe caloric deficit that it's very hard to maintain. It also is a challenge for you to have enough energy to properly train. It also puts you in such a low caloric deficit that your body starts to almost eat itself. Now, that is a kind of an extreme term for this, but your body will start to try and burn its muscle tone as fuel. And so when you're on an extreme crash diet, you oftentimes will lose weight, but that weight is not necessarily the kind that you want. Because when we go on a diet, the goal here is to lose the flab and the extra jiggle. Well, if our body is burning muscle to achieve that goal of losing weight, we are getting rid of the things that are actually helping us be metabolic, as well as having our body look toned and defined. Because bone cannot be toned, because it's bone, and fat is definitely not toned. Only muscle can be toned. So you must have muscles there. And if you're eating by being on a severe crash diet, you're probably going to look good in clothes and look good on the scale, but you're not going to look great naked. And what's the point of training if you're not looking great naked? Alright, second thing that is a big X, hours of cardio. Now, a lot of times people think that spending hours and hours on cardio is going to help them, which in a sense it does. It will help you lose weight. But oftentimes that weight loss that you're actually achieving is just, again, like crash diets, losing muscle tone. Now, if we're losing muscle tone, we're not going to be as metabolic. Our body's not going to look the way we want it to look. And it's not going to operate or perform quite the level that we want. Also, spending hours on cardio is boring as hell. Unless you got some really good movies to watch, it is boring. And it's not fun, and it's not as good. So wait and see what we're going to put on the check marks that will be better for that. Third thing, supplements. Supplements say it all. Supplement, right? If you're trying to lose fat and you're buying fat burners and you're buying a bunch of supplements, but your diet is not on point, your training is not on point, all you're doing is wasting money and supplementing the pockets of the companies that sell them. So supplements do work. They work well, but everything else has to be on point. That's why it's called a supplement. It supplements what's already being done well, or it doesn't do shit for what's not working. Okay, so wasting money on supplements is a big X unless these other talking points on the right are in line. Third thing, stop stressing. The more stress you have, the harder it is to lose weight. When we stress about losing weight, we actually stress ourselves into not losing weight, right? It's really weird, okay? It's kind of like when people used to say, if you eat fat, you're going to get fat. Well, if you stress, you're not going to lose weight. Okay? And if you stress about losing weight, you're really not going to lose weight. Stress increases cortisol. Cortisol hinders the body's performance. It also stops the body from trying to lose fat and weight as optimally as possible. So, if you're stressed, your body's going to hold on to weight and fat a lot more than if you are not stressed. So stop holding yourself to an extreme amount of stress to try and achieve the goal, and just let yourself have fun and relax a little bit. Okay, so that's the 4 things that we want to get rid of. Here's the 4 things that we want to add or do to help us burn fat and burn fat fast. So first thing, maintaining a calorie deficit. Now, I put this right in line with crash diet. Crash diets are quick, extreme, fast. They'll get you a weight loss, but they're not going to sustain that. If you want to have a true and lasting result, as well as you want to maximize fat loss, not just weight loss. If you want to lose weight fast, here's an idea. Cut off a limb. That's 5-6 pounds right there. But that's not what we're going to do. So, if you want to burn fat fast, we want to maintain a caloric deficit. Now, a caloric deficit can be found by finding what your maintenance calories are and then being in a negative of that. And that's going to be in a different video. or a different talking point. But to truly burn fat, you need to maintain a caloric deficit. You need to be maintaining enough calories that gives you enough energy to do your daily tasks, which includes being alive, walking to the car, being able to function at work at a high capacity, as well as enough calories to maintain your training specific goals. So if you need to have energy to train 5-6 days a week, you need to make sure that you have enough calories to do that. Now, there is a buffer zone of maintenance calories, which will keep you right where you're at, surplus calories, which will increase your weight, and a deficit calorie. Deficit calorie is the perfect amount of calories that you would want to be on to start to get to your goal, which is basically a stairway. Okay, and if you are doing a diet that someone else has done, it's probably not going to be right for you. So you want to find what your caloric deficit is for where you're currently at and where you want to go, and then stay in that maintenance caloric deficit to achieve your fat burning goals. Second thing is protein per meal. A good idea is consuming about 30 to 40% of your daily calories via protein. Protein is a thermogenic in a sense. What this means is when you eat protein, the body has a hard time breaking it down. It actually has to work really hard to break down protein. So by consuming protein at every meal, you actually help the body increase metabolism. Also, protein is the helper of increasing muscle tone and repairing muscle tone. So it's kind of a double points here for why we want to consume protein. Protein is essential for the body. It's essential for muscle growth and repair. It's also important because if I take in, for instance, about 100 calories of protein, because of how hard it is for the body to digest and break down, it actually expends 20 to 25 calories just to burn it. So that means if I had 100 calories of protein coming in, I'm really only digesting and functioning about 80 of those, 80 to 85 of those. So it actually is a beneficial way of having calories, but also burning them at the same time. Third thing is strength training. Now, we said that we want to get rid of hours of cardio. What we do though is instead of just getting rid of something, we switch it with something that's actually beneficial. Now, I mentioned that we want to maintain our muscle tone, and muscle tone comes from having muscle, right? There's no fat tone, there is no bone tone, there's only muscle tone. So we want to make sure we have muscle tone. To have muscle tone, we need to be strength training. We need to be training our bodies in ways that are actually going to be activating, utilizing, and working our muscles to tone, okay? So, strength training comes down to this: lifting weights and lifting weights that are heavy, okay? The other reason why we want to be lifting weights is because it has what's called EPOC. Exercise post-oxygen consumption. So, big word, EPOC, EPOC. What EPOC does is basically puts our body in a thermogenic process after our training session. So while you might have 500 calories in an hour of cardio, you might only have 200 to 300 calories burned during a strength training session. But your metabolism is raised for an extended period of time, anywhere between 12 to 36 hours, burning more calories per hour just to function, right? Also, by strength training, you're actually adding or increasing muscle tone. By doing this, think about your body as one big fire. Your metabolism is a fire, okay? By adding logs into a fire, logs, coal, kindling, all these things, you add and improve the growth and size and strength of that fire. By adding muscle tone to your body, it's like adding logs to a fire. It helps increase the metabolism. This is also a reason that very lean people can get away with eating more, because their body is a better fueling fire. Right? So the more lean mass you have, the more lean muscle tone you have, the better your fire is going to burn long term, as well as sustain your weight loss. So it's catch-22 there. It's actually not a catch-22, a double bonus again. And the fourth and final thing to really help you burn fat, it's the opposite of stress. It's relax, enjoy, right? Enjoy the process. Don't stress about your results. Yes, I know it's important for you to see the results, but don't stress about them. If you have a week that you fall off the wagon with your nutrition, don't stress about it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Get back on track and follow the core concepts. When you do that, you're going to have a long-term result. You're going to have fun doing it, and you're going to see results that actually feel good, okay? And by relaxing, you actually allow your body to, as it's called, relax. And your body actually gets the best results from recovery, not from training. So when you actually relax, you allow your body to de-stress. You allow your body to go and repair itself. That's why sleep is important. If you're not sleeping, you're not recovering. And if you're not recovering, you're not repairing. And if you're not repairing, you're in a constant position of breakdown. So it is important to relax to improve your results. So let's recap, guys. How to burn fat fast. Things that you don't want to do, little X's. We want to get rid of crash diets. We want to get rid of hours of cardio. We also want to get rid of supplements as our primary source. We also want to try and reduce our stress levels. So if we can get rid of stress, we can see a result. All right, things that we want to do. This is it. Maintain our caloric deficit. We want to be in a caloric deficit that is a little bit lower than our maintenance calories that will help us achieve our goal and get to our ideal weight loss and body fat goals. We want to make sure that we're having protein per meal. We want to be consuming about 30 to 40% of our daily calories through protein and having some sort of protein every meal. Usually anywhere between 15 to 30 grams of protein per meal is good and ideal and very easy to do overall. But increasing that protein per meal will increase food thermogenics as well as help repair and recover muscle tone and help you burn fat fast. Third thing. We want to increase our strength training or add strength training. So we want to be working our muscles in a way that's going to actually be building them, breaking them down, and toning them. And we can only do that by performing strength training. Things that are challenging workloads between 5 to 15 reps at a weight that is challenging for you to perform. Strength training is going to increase your muscle tone, which increases your metabolism. It's like adding logs to a fire or adding kindling to a fire. It's going to help your metabolism burn longer and harder. It's going to help increase the way that your body looks and performs, as well as gives you what you want from losing fat, which is a toned, sexy body, right? So here's what I always like to joke about. The person doing hours of cardio looks great in clothes. The person that does a lot of strength training looks great without clothes. Which one do you think you want to be in? Come on, guys. Let's be honest. And fourth thing, relax. Spend a little R&R. Let yourself unwind. Get rid of stress. Stop stressing about not seeing your result, or stop stressing about your nutrition and training and all these things. Just relax. You'll see a better result. Hopefully these tips helped you. How to burn fat fast. If you have any questions, feel free to chat below in a comment, or let's chat and see how I can help you achieve your goals. You can find out how to do that by going to www.grit-city.com, or if that's too challenging, gritcityfitnessandperformance.com. Otherwise, hopefully these tips have helped you and you can start implementing or getting rid of what you're currently doing to maximize your results by performing the things on the right side of this column. Otherwise, guys, take care. Hopefully those answer some of your questions. You can start seeing some results and burning fat faster than ever before.